All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this stream live, broadcasting on both YouTube and Twitch. It's going to be a bit of a different stream today. I'm going to be doing some DM prep for mini/DM prep for my Minds of Phandelver, which will now become a Phandelver and Below campaign. But before I do that, I want to showcase some minis that I previously printed on the channel and did cleanup on, but now I've got them all primed up since we just completed a batch of 21 models. I went ahead and got these primed up. It's the next 30 that need to be painted, which will take us through level 5-ish in the campaign for Ghost of Saltmarsh. We've got some Artisan Guild Lizardmen down here, Artisan Guild Giant Snakes, Games Workshop Troll, a Schlossbar, two-headed snake thing, I can't remember the name, Absimithy, weird, it's got a weird name. A bunch of these sort of bandity piratey dudes from various releases from Loot Studios, Dwarpass dope-ass dwarf rogue also included in there. We have some of these guys. These are from, I don't think I showcased these previously because these came in, I had to order them. These are Whiz Kids minis. These are colonths, which are basically like Sea Orc, for better. Like, you can imagine what a Sea Elf is. Everybody knows what a Sea Elf is. These are basically like Sea Orc, or the equivalent therein. We've got a bunch of Grung here from a combination of this Salute Studios model, and then we've got a bunch of models from Comet Lord. Scaled down just a little bit because I wanted them to be a little bit smaller and closer to the scale of the rest of the other minis. So there we go. 30 minis. I'm going to be showcasing painting these over the next week or two. Focusing on these guys first because those are the next bunch of models that will be featured in a campaign, probably followed by these guys, and then all of these are sort of in the same area. Actually, I need to hit these 3 lizard men because they may hit that content also at the same time as this content. So anyways, look forward to that being painted in the coming weeks. Put that back in our shoebox of secrets or shoebox of spoilers. And yeah, switching back over to the PC cam. Boom, there we go. And what we have up here is, let me turn this light off. Boom. On our left we have DnD Beyond, and on our right is a mini planner that I have used in previous campaigns. Now, if you've never watched me do this on stream before, as part of my planning for campaigns, I go through the campaign and I break down all of the encounters by, I do milestone XP, so I split things into the respective levels in which the characters should be for those encounters. Sometimes they'll dip into level 2 content while they're level 1, well, not likely. But let's say, for example, level 2, sometimes they'll dip into level 3 while they're still level 2, or maybe they don't get to some of this content while they're level 4, they might do level 3 content. But the idea is I sort of try to break it up and plan it on the order that they should be engaging in the content, but giving them freedom to explore. Sometimes they hit stuff out of order. I'll give you an excellent example of this. My party was level 3 recently. They were on their way to the loggers camp, and they came across, just wandering through, they happened upon the ruins of Thunder Tree and the Dragon Barrow. Thankfully, they decided to skip the Dragon Barrow because that's a way too high level for them as level 3. But they did quite well at the ruins of Thunder Tree, and when they were 90% done with it, I gave them the level up to level 4 so that the final encounter of the young green dragon they could do properly at level 4. I don't think level 3 characters could have been able to handle that encounter, but they did quite well, minus some big damage done to the rogue in the party. And if it wasn't for Bull's Endurance being cast on them prior to the fight, the rogue probably actually would have, if I scored a little bit higher on my dice rolls, I actually had the possibility of getting one shot. So, anyways, this spreadsheet I have used before for what I call the Phandelver Adventures. It's a blending of Lost Mines of Phandelver and Dragon of Icespire Peak, which I have displayed here. Reason for that is I find it useful for new players to give them a variety of stuff to do. It slows down the leveling for a player's first campaign and gives them more opportunity to experience different kinds of content and learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons at a lower level before the stakes start getting raised at higher level content. So certainly, especially for levels 1 through 4, there's a lot here, and then 5 and 6 it gets pretty thin. And then previously I did the Dragon of Icespire Peak expansion content, which is level 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. This, I believe, is Sleeping Dragon's Wake. This is Stormlord's Wrath, and this is Divine Contention. Now, when I ran this campaign previously, it was during COVID. COVID hit right when we were here, so I had all of these minis painted and ready to go for being played on the table. Then COVID happened, and we basically switched to just online play, so all of this content wasn't painted because we were just doing Roll20 at that point. All of this content here. Now, as you can see here, things got green again because we started meeting in person again, and this content was with all painted minis, aside from a few here and there. The campaign sort of petered out, and they kind of wanted to skip some of the content and just get to the end, which is why we then skipped down to here. Now, Lelion Besieged was really a theater of the mind giant battle, so there wasn't actually any minis there. And as part of, basically I blended Lelion Besieged with the final fight with Ebon Death. Ebon Death was totally ready to go for, I had him printed but not painted, unfortunately. But basically, we went through the Lelion Besieged as Theater of the Mind, and then ultimately finished off the encounter with Ebon Death. He was at the battle with Lelion, and the characters fought him. Now, again, if I wanted to do the full campaign, he would have sort of retreated back to his mausoleum, and there would have been a whole huge, long thing there. But, anyways, long story short, that is how I ran this previously, which is why you see there's a lot of planning, but not all of these minis are ready. So with my second group, I was faced with a conundrum. Do I continue to get these minis ready and painted? A lot of these things are printed, they just need to be painted. Or do I switch over to the new Phandelver and Below campaign, which is new and hot and interesting. And I figured, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do Phandelver and Below. I think the players enjoy the Lost Mines of Phandelver content a lot more than Dragon by Spire Peak and the expansions. And it's one of the newer written books, and it's been getting a lot of praise and accolades. And so right now at the beginning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive in, and I'm going to look at the differences between the Phandelver content and Dragon by Spire Peak. So that would be, the Phandelver and Below versus Lost Mines of Phandelver. And that would really be things like Goblin Arrows, the Red Brand Ruffians, and actually this is bonkers, this should be like this. Red Brand Ruffians 2, Wyvern and Tor should be 3. I thought I had previously fixed that. I guess not. Just a little issue in my planning there. Yeah, Wyvern and Tor should be actually down to level 3 content because it involves an ogre and lots of work all at the same time. And Red Band Ruffians really happens at level 2, right after. If you're following the actual Phandelver content just by itself, it kind of goes story beat. Wyvern and Tor is technically part of Phandelver as well. Old Owlwell is also part of this. Just looking through here. Cragmaw Castle, of course. Coneyberry, aka Agatha's Lair. Don't really have it listed here because the party's really not supposed to fight Agatha. They're just supposed to converse with her. And then, of course, finally wrapping up with Wave Echo Cave. And then here's where things get substantially different, right? This is where we start getting into truly new content from chapter 5 through 8. So this would be Paths of Peril, the Shattered Obelisk, Rifts in Reality, and Beyond a Lifeless Star. I'm guessing this is going to be like 11 through 12 content. Again, without even looking at the book. I'm guessing it's going to be like, let's see, Phandelver. Wave Echo Cave is half to level 5, so I'm guessing this is going to be like level 6, 7. So it's going to be like 7, 8, 9, and 10. Like something like that. And again, this is without even looking at the module. I'm just guessing here. So, of course, don't quote me on any of this yet. This would be 8 and 9. And this would be 10 and 11. And maybe 12 and 13? Whatever. You know, we'll figure it out. That is part of our objective today, is to read through this stuff and figure out sort of what is necessary for this content. Alright, so we're just going to go back through and review this stuff real fast. Prior to the beginning of the stream, I did take a quick pass through here. We're just looking for bold text where it mentions monsters, goblins, goblin boss, that's cool. Goblin will also just be a goblin in model, maybe be a little bit different, but that's kind of cool. They actually are using different things, like goblin bosses. Wolves, we got wolves. None of this is new to me. Now here it is something new that they added in Goblin Arrows. They added this. Ugh. Let's just move this over. So we have Goblin Boss. We have a one giant poison snake. Now, if you've never seen me do this before, I have different color codes. Green means it's good to go. It's a miniature that I have, that I've painted, ready to go. Yellow means it's printed and primed, and it just needs to be painted. Gray means it's printed, but it's still gray plastic or resin. And then if it's pink, it needs to be purchased and or printed. Sometimes I'll use different colors for needs to be printed versus, I think pink for printed and teal blue for it needs to be purchased. Anyways, I know I have a giant poison snake and goblin boss. Again, I have lots of different goblins, so that's not an issue. Goblins, 2 goblin bosses. We want 2 goblin bosses. So generally within a chapter, I try to look for where there's the highest count of enemies as well. So even though earlier in the chapter it called for 1 goblin boss, and here it calls for 2 goblin bosses, I'm just going to put 2 goblin bosses. Sildar Hallwinter. Yep, Sildar. My party absolutely hated on Sildar. They called him Faildar. Clark the Bugbear. Yep. Goblins. Okay, so really that's the end of Goblin Arrows. I really didn't expect many changes. It is nice, just as a sort of DM commentary here. I like the fact that they threw in Goblin bosses, so there's more than one kind of stat block being used for goblins. But also the inclusion of this giant poisonous snake is pretty important because the party comes into this cave and the first thing they come across is these wolves here. And then they're like, okay, well, let's crawl up this. And this is supposed to be like a poop chute, garbage chute sort of thing. And our snake like hangs out here. And so if party members try to crawl up this, which it's a very high check to get up it, but if they succeed, they're basically walking into the boss's chamber right at the beginning before doing anything else. Really, they're supposed to go around this way, experience a whole bunch of different things, then finally fight the boss. But if they sort of fast track that and go up here, that's bad. So kind of having the snake here helps deter them from going up that route. Or at least presents them with another challenge if they want to be pig-headed about it. So, small little DM commentary there on sort of changes they made in the campaign. Red Band Ruffians. Phandelin, you know, one thing that I do like is they added a lot better sort of cheat sheet here of the different characters in town. They added a much more detailed map of Phandelin here, which I absolutely love. You know, I would give the players, of course, the player version that didn't have all the icons on it, but again, for a DM to have a lot more of this stuff sort of detailed out is really great. Now, in the Lost Mines of Phandelver box set, there is a paper map of Phandelin, and I just use that in my campaigns, but again, it's nice to have that. They have other more interesting details. This is interesting. Dalaran giving them the boots of springing and striding if they go check out the old owl well. That's nice. I don't think that was there previously. I kind of like that they have these new character artworks for some of the people in town and sort of pins, creating sort of different factions within town, which is interesting. Harper's pin, like this. These pins help sort of like identify people as different factions, and now the players are going to sort of look out for those kind of things. I love that Harbin Wester has his own artwork. That's great. This guy is in Lost Mines of Phandelver. He's sort of presented as a fool, and Sildar sort of hangs out with him to sort of keep him in check. And you know, Inaro, who's part of the Lord's Alliance, you know, is the one who's really giving the party members sort of direction, because this guy's a buffoon. But in Dragon of Icespire's Peak, they make him even more of a buffoon because he's absolutely terrified of the white dragon that keeps like flying over the area, and he's unwilling to leave his house other than interact with this like town board. So again, it's great to have a picture of him because he's kind of an iconic character that is sort of the clown of the thing. I like that they have a picture of the Red Brands here. Again, they've just really taken Lost Mines of Phandelver and just taken it to the next level with this artwork and other stuff. We got 4 Red Brands and fighting them at their bar. Or the bar they hang out at, which is the Sleeping Giant, which coincidentally is, of course, right next to Tresidar Manor, which is what their actual hangout is. Red Brand's Hangout. They still have all of this. This is the same. That's Glassstaff's Bug Out Bag. We got some human bandits, which are the ruffians, 6 skeletons. Now this is interesting, they put 6 skeletons in here. versus 3. 3 is kind of a pushover content for a level 2 party, so I'm kind of glad that they upped this to 6 to make it a little bit more of a deadly situation if they don't do what they need to while going through this crypt. It's in the middle of the fortress. That's this room right here. I like how they more clearly outline the trap here. I like how they outline that there's a pressure plate here that opens up this. This is not very well written in the original Lost Mines of Phandelver, how they're supposed to access this side from this direction. So that's interesting. It's nice that they did that. This pit trap here did almost as much damage to the first party that I ran through this campaign than like the entire dungeon combined. Them just doing stupid shit and thinking that they could get over the pit trap, and it was shenanigans and dumb things, and them trying to like jump over it, and it was hilarious. 3 human commoners, right? Those are the people that are in the jail cells, but you don't need minis for those necessarily, unless you want to. I like the fact that they gave the Nothic a name. He was in the original campaign, pretty important character. My party never found this. The second party that I'm doing never found this +1 longsword. I should probably give it to them because technically after the red band situation's dealt with, Sildar sort of starts investigating the place. Should probably, like, after the fact, just be like Sildar offering them the +1 longsword. Maybe I'll have Sildar give them the +1 longsword when they recover his longsword, which is at Cragmaw Castle. I'll probably do that. That feels better. Like, maybe he has this sword right now, but once they return his sword to him, he'll be like, cool, now you can have this one, which is a much better sword, but I've just been hanging on to because my armor and sword has been missing. But for sentimental reasons, I'd rather have my sword and armor. He's an old war veteran. He doesn't need the best equipment. He just wants his personal equipment. Okay, anyways, moving on. 4 bugbears are beating up on Droop. Let's double check. 3 bugbears. Let's up that to 4. I know I have 4 bugbears, so that's fine. I also know I have 6 skeletons, so that's fine. Oh man, they have a picture of an arrow. That's cool. That's not how he's described in the book. He also doesn't have a pet quasit. They added that. It was a rat before. Yeah, here in the Wizard's Workshop, it wasn't a rat, it was a quasit. Which makes more sense. One quasit. Not that it makes more sense that you have a quasit as opposed to a rat familiar. I just think that if a rat scurries by, people don't immediately assume, oh, there must be some evil wizard. But if you see a quasit, that is more likely to get the player's attention versus just a rat running by. And I think in the original campaign, they had like characters who were supposed to roll a perception check, and if you didn't even see the rat, which allowed Inaru to get away. That's kind of bad from a story perspective because, well, anyways, blah 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 blah. Staff defense. Golden shit. Okay. So, some nice little changes to Red Band Ruffians. I think that's great. Now moving on to Spider's Web. Now, as far as, this is where, now technically my party has already done this content, so I'm just doing this for completion's sake. My party right now is kind of in this zone here. They've done Butterskull Ranch, they need to do the Loggers Camp, they need to do Tower of Storms, but they haven't done Wyvern Tour. So any of this is like new content for them. Let's check out Wyvern Tour. Wyvern Tour. Now immediately this is great. Wyvern Tour, I know I looked this up previously, it did not have a map. This is great, like having this great, I did have coincidentally, I did plan it so there was a boulder the party was like hiding behind while they were sort of scouting out the mouth of the cave. It is interesting they changed it from, they do still have Beauregard Axebiter, which is an orc, but now there's 4 bugbears and an ogre as opposed to lots of, it was just like 8 orc before. So now it's 1 ogre, 1 orc with great axe, and 4 bugbear. That's very different. I'm okay with it. Coincidentally, this is actually really nice because this makes this encounter feel very different than the Shrine of Shabras, which is mostly ogres and orc. This one is different because it's got the bugbear. But it does show to the players, again, this campaign is designed for new players, it's showing them that, like, look, ogres, orcs, bugbears, they all work together. They're all goblinoids. Well, I guess ogres aren't goblinoids. But the fact that orc and bugbears and goblins are goblinoids, they will work together. And they're sort of showing that off here by having a mix. I just like it in general too, when encounters are just more than 8 orc. Loot is pretty much the same, including 3 vials of perfume. Alright, so that's the end of Wyvern Tour. I'm gonna actually script Cragmaw Castle. Let's do Ruins of Thunder Tree. They just did this content. And the good news is they changed almost nothing. They did include, again, nice Emerald Enclave pin. Redoff has a nice picture for Redoff. Look how adorable she is with her fox and her little bird friend. But what they did change is this loot right here was supposed to be a studded leather armor, and now it's a leather armor +1. Now, for the astute D&D player, that's essentially the same thing, but some players just like having magical armor as opposed to mundane armor. And so even though it's pretty much the same thing, a player could just trade up for +1 leather versus studded leather because it just feels good to have +1 equipment. Even though it's a side grade, it feels like an upgrade. Hue is still there, which is great. Ash Zombies still do Ash Zombie things. I don't think they changed anything else in this section. I think they did up the number of cultists originally, but that's okay, I was prepared for it. When we hit this content, where is that? Where is this? This is Ruin of Thunder Tree. Oh yeah, 6 cultists, yeah. They did not kill Fabric, so they didn't get this loot. They murdered all of his followers, but they let him go. very weird decision making by my group, my Wednesday group sometimes. They're new to D&D, so still learning things. All right, Agatha. Agatha is a Banshee. I don't know Banshee, but the assumption here is that the players don't actually fight her. So if they decided to, I'd have a mini ready, but for the most part, I don't even put it in my spreadsheet because I assume they're like warned not to piss her off. I do have wilderness encounter cheat sheet here. Sturges, ghouls, ogres. Goblins, hobgoblins, bugbears, owlbears, all the above good stuff. So, not really worried about it. I guess we could include it in this list. Oh yeah, Sturges. There's Sturges right there. As many as 6 Sturges. Now you may notice in this spreadsheet I've got young white dragon, young green dragon. There are some rules in the Dragon Aspire Peak book about, you know, while running the adventure, roll for where the young white dragon is, as it's sort of like hunting for food around the area. I roll on this table for both the green dragon and the white dragon. And it's nice because, you know, in the first campaign I ever did, when they were at the Butterskull Ranch, the green dragon showed up and woo, they were not ready for it. But it was pretty funny. Shenanigans happened. And they hurt it enough that it flew away, and, you know, they later fought it at the Ruins of Thunder Tree. But that's why I have it up here in the Wilderness Encounters. Just remind myself to have them on hand. Alright, Old Owl Well. We got our Necro. And he's got a bunch of zombies. 12 to be exact. Yep, no changes. Again, I do like the fact that they actually have a map for it. They didn't have that before. Just lots of really small quality of life improvements over the Lost Mines of Phandelver campaign. Alright, Cragmaw Castle. Here I'm expecting probably some pretty significant changes. But we'll see. We got goblin bosses. We got goblins. We got hobgoblins. We still have the Grick, which is great. It's a great monster to throw in. It gets kind of boring when like one area just has the same thing over and over. More hobgoblins. This is great because according to lore, there should be more hobgoblins than anything else at this castle. I don't think they actually had that before. I think it was like bugbears and goblins and lots of goblins. And since D&D 5th edition is more of a game of action economy, it's better to have 4 hobgoblins than it is to have 8 goblins. It's just overwhelming when there's that many targets. It also has a tendency to slow down combat as well. Although I do a lot of things to speed it up. I move all of them first and then have them attack all at the same time together in groups, depending on what their target is. Alright, we got King Groll. We have his wolf. His direwolf. We're going to have the doppelganger, which is posing as a drow. So that's why I have right here one doppelganger, a female drow, because she originally presents as a drow. This is where Gundren shows up as well. He's in a cage. So really important to have a cage available there as like terrain scatter. Alright. Actually, not a whole lot of changes to Cragmaw Castle. They may have changed some of the rewards. Like I said, I think they changed things from like a lot of goblins to more goblin bosses. Seeing here 6 goblins and 1 goblin boss. So I don't think there's like the need for 8 goblin. So that's great. And they use the hobgoblins more, I think, which again I think fits. The king of Cragmaw Castle is a bugbear, but the primary military force is the hobgoblins. Going through the list. Yeah, okay, great. Alright, now we can jump to Wave Echo Cave, and then we'll be into actually new content for this Lost Mines of Phandelver expansion. We got Wandering Monsters for Wave Echo Cave. Again, we got Sturges. We need ghouls. Ooh. 1 to 4 Gricks. Ooh. We'll just say 1 Grick. I don't want to have to like prepare more Grick. We have to prepare 1 over here, but and I do have 1 printed and painted, but I don't want to have to prepare more. It's fine. Potentially 4 bugbear. We got 6 skeletons. 69. And we have 6 zombies and 1 ochre jelly. Okay, so that's our random encounters. Looking down through this, what do we got? What do we got? 1 ochre jelly. 6 Sturges. We have 2 ogre zombies. That's awesome. don't think I have. I know I have these ready, but I don't think I have them in my travel case. So I need to actually move these into my travel case. 5 bugbear. Ghoul. Two violet fungi. Oh. That's kind of nice. I like this. So there's this like fungi forest thing here, and it's pretty much inconsequential other than some like poisonous gas. The characters just need to like survive. They need to do like a check to go through there, like a con check before. But actually throwing like a monster here that's unique is different. I like it. Violet fungi. These I need to source. I need to source that. That's for damn sure. Don't have that. Now that more ghouls, I have so many ghouls. It's fine. Those are in my travel case. Giant constrictor snake. I have that. But again, not in my travel case. Interesting. 6 bugbear. Wow. They changed Wave Echo Cave a lot. Good thing is I have 6 bugbear, all painted, ready to go. 8 zombies, a flame skull. Obelisk with a wraith. Yeah, cool. Forge of spells. That has a spectator. And that's to be expected. Spectator was there before. Blah 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 blah. Lightbringer. The giant octopus. Oof, I got a bunch of things I need to throw in my travel case. I keep saying that. Just to clarify, the group that's running through this campaign is. I'm just going to put yellow on some of these that I need to make sure to put in my travel case. All these are printed. I just need to put them in. The Gulthias tree actually needs to be painted, so maybe I should use a different color here. Yeah, okay, cool. I like that color. Oh, that's nice. Literally after I'm done here, I'm going to put them right in my travel case, so that way I don't forget. Anyways, I run this particular campaign at my brother's, so I have like a travel case that I have a lot of these minis in, or all these minis in. Alright, more bugbears, doppelganger, that checks out. And that's the male doppelganger, right? Yeah, he's posing as a male drow. And then last but not least, the spider, who's a drow mage. 2 bugbears. Doppelganger if he got ahead and hung out with them. Did they get rid of the spiders? Huh. Okay. So they replaced the giant spiders with they made this fight a lot easier. To be fair, this fight was really hard and he actually kicked the player's ass. And then they had to like negotiate with him. And I had to like think really hard on my feet. So it feels like they really nerfed this encounter. Because originally it was like him and 4 giant spiders. Which 4 giant spiders by themselves aren't a big deal, but he did a lot of shenanigans where he was like going invisible and like spiders were climbing on the ceiling and just shit happened. So, alright, so we gotta put our giant octopus, our snake, and our ogre zombies, which actually I have bugbear zombies that I run as ogre zombies. Okay, I will throw them on the case. I'll have something to do real fast. I'm going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we will be diving into the new content for Phandelver and Below, the Paths of Peril. Looking forward to that. Oh, and this is great. He's giving a share of his mind's profits. That is great. That is awesome. Once a offender committed crimes in the town, hence a dangerous come. Okay, cool. So, yeah. This is great. Yeah. I will be right back. Gonna hit BRB. And we'll be back in a few minutes. All right, we are back. You know what? I forgot to put that stuff in my case. I went and did some other things that need to get done, but actually, you know what? We'll just leave that as a highlight. I can do that later. Let's just put a little, that same color here. The Woodland Man, so I need to finish painting the Gothias tree. Okay. So, Paths of Peril. Okay, this is good. They do mention sort of what level the party should be at the beginning of the chapter. So they are expecting people to be following, see, level 4 actually for Wave Echo Cave. What do they recommend for Thunder Tree? Let's see here. Runes of Thunder Tree. They just say the Spider's Web is level 3, and everything in Spider's Web should be level 3 content. Oof, I call shenanigans on that. I mean, maybe Old Owlwell, you could sort of like dump that down here into like level 3 content. But I don't know, Runes of Thunder Tree, Cragmaw, that's both level 4 in my opinion. Yeah, we'll stick with that. Loggers Camp is definitely level 3. Butterskull Ranch is definitely level 3. Okay. Wave Echo, I'm gonna disagree and say you should probably do Wave Echo at level 5. Especially with how much they honestly made things harder. I mean, yeah, they changed the last encounter, but yeah, I don't know. That's fine. Alright, Paths of Peril. According to this, we need to be level 5. Where was that? Level 5. In this chapter, they advance to level 7 and no further. So yeah, I'd rather just do this as level 6/7 content. So just assume they're going to be level 6. Let me just double check. Dragon of Icespire Peak. Circle of Thunder. Circle of Thunder can be done at level 4 or 5. But it's balanced for level 6. Then Woodland Manse, 3rd or 4th, but it's really designed for 5 or 6. Let's just pull this back into level 5 content, Woodland Manse. It's fine. And then of course Icespire Hold. Icespire Hold is of course designed for level 6. So we'll stick with that. I'm just going to bring this over onto here. And we'll do a separator. There we go. Not going to worry about doing a separate tab. Delete. Not copy, delete. Delete. If you're watching this video and you are interested in any of these spreadsheets, I'm happy to share them with anyone. One of the things I do like doing is that I have done in newer versions of this kind of spreadsheet, and I'll show it off here. DnD, for example, it goes to Saltmarsh. I do have linked the sort of source minis that I plan out for printing. I didn't do it so much, follow that format here, but as you can see, I do link things like, okay, the Thunderbore, and I've got hyperlinks built into monsters that need printing. So I'm not going to go back and reverse engineer this old stuff, but again, if you're interested in this planning as a tool, I do have it available. All right, going back, Paths of Peril. So, ugh. God, there's all kinds of crazy ass monsters in here. So this is interesting because it feels like you don't fight this guy until, right, level 5 when they begin. When they defeat this guy. So they'll advance from 5 to 6 and then 6 to 7 when they beat the dude. Right, so he's in the Sanctum, but this is like the end of the chapter. So really the majority of the chapter is just level 6. Paths of Peril is level 6. Alright, we're gonna duplicate this. Because we're switching this to and below. I just realized that that is why I wanted to do a separate tab, because I want to follow this monster and its source. Kind of new way that I'm doing things. So let's just delete this. Let's delete these rows here. monster and then source. They usually break it into like a sub area, right? Chapter, and then area, level. I'm guessing that's the level of progression now. Okay, so passive apparel. We're just gonna do passive apparel all level 6. It's fine. Gonna do things a little bit differently because again, we want 6 to be. We got a lot of content going on at 5. We got a lot of content going on at 6. So I don't want to like have passive apparel split up between 5 and 6. Alright. Alright, passive apparel. Going back to the top here. We got let me new fill in this. Boom. Because now we're in the and below content. Alright. Arrow, we got Zula's Rest. We got that. Then we also have the Indigo Sanctum. Obviously there's going to be a lot more monsters than that. Alright, let's jump to the top here. Alright, blah 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 blah. Goblins are hardest adventure. The goblin descendants possess psionic powers, evidenced by these two. Roman cacophony, blah blah blah. Crimes of chaos. You know, maybe here we can do like some level 5 stuff that maybe they experience. So maybe I will break it up a little bit. Although after they're done with Wave Echo Cave, I'm going to make them level 6, so that's fine. Just say this level 6. The passive Pharaoh, we got goblins. Goblin Mischief. We got 5 goblins. Biz Kid goblins. Oh, we got some goblins. Psy Commander. Goblin Psy Brawler. We got 2 Goblin Psy Brawlers and 1 Psy Commander. I'm gonna do Artisan Guild Goblins. I already have the Commander. My minifactory.com. Here we go. Google. That's me. Alright, so Goblins, Artisan Guild. Yeah, so this whole release is great. We could probably put together a brawler. I've got this guy right here. We'll make him the side commander. So he's good. I really love this model. That's nice. But yeah, we'll just do spark shoot goblins. I'll make some brawlers that look like bigger, beefier looking goblins from my other goblins. So what am I doing? Close, close, close. Artisan Guild Goblin Caster. We're already good on that. We'll just mark that one as green. This is a needing to be printed. This is green. We already got this WizKid Goblins. Boom. Alright. So that's that. Brawlers. I do have some horses. Can't remember if these are WizKid horses. I think they are. Alright, moving on. We got some town stuff. Got Well Cavern. Oh man, classy monster. Actually, this is called. Stolen shards. Well, cavern and Otiong. The question is, do I have an Otiong? Really nice model. Lost Adventures. Might have one from Loot Studios. Let's check that real fast. Should make it a habit of signing in another browser window. Okay, where to sign in? Oh, hey, look. We have one here. Amazing. Look at that. Beautiful. Loot Studios. Young. It's from Ancient Ruins. Stinky. Ancient Ruins. Boom. Okay, that's going to need to be printed. Alright, moving on. So far, don't need to buy anything. We're going to need a third Goblin Psy Brawler. Stolen shards. 3 Goblin Psy Brawler. Really do like this format versus the way I was doing it before, because again, if I'm like planning out painting for the week, I can sort of make the decision if I just need to get this content ready. It's like, okay, I only need to paint 2. Now the reality is, the difference between 2 or 3 goblins, I'll probably paint all 3 at the same time. But it's nice to have it laid out this way from a planning my painting perspective, especially if I'm short a week on time. Commander and brawlers. Okay. Nothing new there. Okay, now we're into Zoltura's lair. 2 side commanders. Okay. I know this guy's got a staff, but I'm sorry, I want to print him, so he's happening. We're gonna have to print this one. Artisan, Guild, Goblin, Master, number 2. Okay. That's ridiculous. That's a lot of dudes. I'm not gonna print like 4 commanders and 6 brawlers. It's like whatever. It'll be 2 commanders and 3 brawlers, and it's fine. Other goblins. A giant badger. Oh man, a giant badger. Go back to here. See if we got some badgers. Oh my god. Oh, please. Loot Studios. Is there really a badger in here? How did a badger come up in this? I don't see a badger. There's a weasel rider. A weasel and a badger are 2 totally different things. I like the black bear. Whatever. Badger. Oh man. Love it. Kinda like it. Kinda like it. Artificer's Mini. This should be Artificer's Mini. Artificer's Mini, or Artificer Minis, probably wasn't available or something. That one is gonna have to be a purchase. That's our first purchase so far of this planning. Oh, what do we got going on here? Oh shit. I will be right back. So many interruptions today. Alright, getting back to this. Blah, 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 blah. Money carts. Three Gricks. Oof. Well, that's gonna be Loot Studios Grick. What is going on at Loot Studios? Why'd you sign me out? Grick. NPCs, objects, enemies. Yeah. Loot Studios, buried, tomb, Grick. Yeah, print 2 more. And times 2. Barrel Ashen Whites and Psionic Ashen Whites? What? Jesus. They're crystal infused dead people. Well, thankfully I have an answer to that. Loot Studios did a great release. It was their Nidlandir release. One of the clans, the Kaulugur, however you pronounce that clan, this clan is a bunch of dwarves that are like crystalline dudes. Look at this. Look at this guy. So we can use him as the probably all 3 of these guys as our feral Ashen Whites. And then we got this guy as a psionic. We've got. The point is, we've got a lot of choices here. Totally dope. Been looking for an opportunity to print these models. She can be a psionic. She's a psionic. She's a psionic. We'll make him a psionic. All right, let me pull this over here. So it's going to be Loot Studios. What the fuck is it called? Loot Studios. Nidavellir. Kradur. And we've got the Warlock, Princess, and Crystal Mancer. So been looking forward to printing these models. And then for the, we've got the Lurker, the Sadist, and kind kind of like corrupted. Yeah. I'm guessing at some point I need like more of a hero character or something. So I'm just gonna put it in here. This is the no one's leader. And we've also got the monarch. Such a great series of models. Even if I don't need all of these, I should probably just print them all and paint them all. I will make use of them. Wow, look at that thing. That thing is like, doesn't even have a head. So if we want, we could take out the... I should just print one of everything, honestly. I should just print one of everything. One of everything. Boom. Done. We've got... Alright, going back to here, we've got the three Pearl Ashen Whites, 3 Psionic Ashen Whites, when I say one of everything, I've already printed and painted this golem, so it won't be that, and not the giant mole. Well, the giant mole might be a really nice thing for this badger. Maybe we don't do the badger, maybe we do the giant mole. Let me look up what this giant badger is supposed to, how they describe it. Look at this, look at all these like crystalline zombie dwarves. This is gonna be dope as fuck. Oh, more feral ashen whites. Yep. Nice. Where's the badger? This is gonna be in the kitchen. Goblin Enclave's unofficial pet. What's the CR? Oh, 1/4? Alright, never mind. It was something scarier, I would run this, but it's a CR 1/4 thing, like, whatever. Alright, moving on, we got the Grix, we got... I think that's it, we just have all the cool... Oh, no. Hold up. We got some more things here. Another mutated Unhyach. And a fiendish augur. What? Okay. Now this might be one of those things where I might just change things up here. And here's where I might just say fuck it. And instead of running this fiendish augur, you know, maybe I'll run this crystallized giant mole. And this is where when you're planning, you know, when you're running something like this and you're really trying to create an experience for your players, this is where you just switch it up. You know, and you describe, maybe you even use this same thing and say that it's like, it's crystalline, but it's also like burning hot for some reason. Or maybe you change the heat from like, you make it cold, or it's psionic damage or something. And instead of it being a flaming drill attack, it's like a ram attack. Because that's what it's describing here, right? And the mole just like charges at people, like ramming it with its crystalline growths all over it. And it does like a shriek. It does like a instead of a burst of heat around it, it's like a psionic wave. So yeah, I think that's what I do. I'm just gonna run the Fiendish Augur. And you know, as far as the treasure, it makes sense. Like this blue quartz could break off of it, and the amethyst could be things that are glowing off of it, and maybe right in the center of its head, it had the gem of brightness. So you know, I think we'll just stick with it like that. Instead of iron ore, I'll just say, you know, maybe as they kill it, they spill its guts out, and it's got these big chunks of iron ore in its stomach because it actually eats iron. I think that's a way cooler storytelling that just fits in with these other monsters. So that's what we'll do. Oh man, this guy's got a gem rammed into his forehead. You can probably run that as him. This statue could be the crystallized golem fighting alongside him. Now, another thing we can do is we can sort of look at some of these Loot Studios goblins and see if there's anything that would be fitting of this guy. I don't think we're gonna find a goblin with a crystal sticking out of his head, but There might be an equally just super interesting goblin like this guy. He looks pretty amped up. With the fucking Super Saiyan hair. Yeah, I'll do this guy. I'll do this guy. Never mind. Artisan Guild. Spark Shoot. Goblin Hero. Dwiz go the tallest. Alright, so that's these things need to be printed. Alright. Whoa! What time do we have? 4:30. Got another hour of this before I need to stop. One crystal golem as a shield guardian. Oh, well, no, not a crystal golem. Large dwarven statue. A shield guardian. Let me see if I have this anywhere in my purchases. I printed this long ago. I'm just including it for consistency. No, I don't have it here. It was like a dwarf. I don't even know if it was intended as a statue, but I think it might have been the kind of thing where you scale it up and print it as a statue. Yeah. Oh man, some of these statues are really nice. It's kind of this kind of thing where the dwarf is just like holding a hammer in a downward position. So I'm going to use that. That is printed, it just needs to be primed and painted. It is gray plastic. It's actually blue resin, but you know, whatever. Alright, so yeah, that's the end of the Paths to Peril. Wait. Hold up. Got my wires crossed there. Paths to Peril. Indigo Sanctum. Indigo Sanctum is where we've got Indigo Sanctum is literally just one thing. it's just this guy. Okay, cool. This all it says rest is where we got the rest of this shit going on. Okay. So yeah, that looks like a levels with content. Then we go to chapter 6, Shatter Obelisk. Okay. What the fuck are those things? Oh, Pip. What the fuck are these things called? Okay. Return to Phandelver. After facing the Fragment Guardian and either turn or give it crossing. Okay. Give it crossing. And then we've got also crypt of the Talhund. Alright. So yeah. Never heard of these things before. These things are weird. They exist. Wow. Go whoever jumped on that opportunity. What is the name of this studio? Mini Adventure Print. When was this made? 7 days ago. Look at that. Somebody just jumping right on the train of a new campaign and getting themselves some visibility. Love that. That is... Oh, poor Daisy. For psychic gray oozes. I think I have 4 oozes. I might only have 2 oozes. I need to print some more oozes, probably. I need to do some research on what oozes I want to print. It's probably... Ooh, wow. Was that like an ooze dragon? What the hell? Dude. Props to print your monsters. That's cool as hell. Well, anyways, I need to do some research into what oozes I want to print. I've got a bunch of different things. I probably have oozes that are sufficient. Probably need to save myself some time and not print more oozes. So, you know, we'll call it good. I think I get oozes from Comet Lord. So I think they're not great oozes, but whatever. It's fine. Not gonna print out. Oh man, Shambling Mounds! We got Shambling Mounds. I printed out some Shambling Mounds that were like freebie Shambling Mounds. This Shambling Mound is so fucking cool though. Might print it. Might print this. Actually, no, I don't have a Shambling Mound. Now that I think about it, I'm confusing it with something else. We'll do this. Loot Studios Shambling Mound. I'm thinking Gibbering Mouther. I have a bunch of Gibbering Mouthers, but we'll print and paint this Shambling Mound. It's a beautiful, beautiful sculpt. Let's see here. Wow. Winged humanoids? Okay. That's gross. These are some wild ass minis. My mini factory. Durr. Print your monsters. Wow. 1, 2, calendar. Print your monsters. Wild. Okay, well that's gonna be a purchase. Love those. A Medusa, 1 Medusa, Artisan Guild Medusa. There's so many Medusas, it's crazy. But we'll go with the Artisan Guild one. I probably can't find it easily here. It was from the Amazon's release. Loot Studios also has a Medusa from Ghostly Odyssey, but again, I've already printed. Where is she? there she is. That's a hot Medusa though. I don't know. I'll probably go with Loot Studios, Ghostly Odyssey, Medusa. Artisan Guild Medusa is also an alternate. All right. Helmed Horror and Animated Armors. Pretty sure I have these kind of things in Loot Studios. Does not seem like undead to me, but well, that's beside the point. Like this, Flickering Night. One. Move Studios. Curse of Torpor. Pretty sure I have something from Schlossbar that fits the bill. Oh, wow. Oh my god, epic miniatures. Oh. Oh, so good. I like how he's holding his head. I'm sorry, this is too on point. This is beautiful. 2 animated armor. That's from who? That's from Epic Miniatures. Epic Miniatures. So good. That's gonna be a purchase. That's gonna be a print. I mean, purchases are purchases / prints. Dust Memphis. We have Mephits. I don't think they're specifically Dust Mephits, but I have little demons, is the point. Let me just double check loot here. Oh, we're getting benefit from this search. Although I do really like this carrion golem. Called Zombie, aka Bone Claw. Oh, there we go, a Dust Mefit. That is a somewhat big model, isn't it? Oh no, it's pretty small. Oh, I print out 6 of these little fuckers? That'd be fast to paint. God, they look cool. Flute Studio, Stinky Ancient Ruins, Mefit. One white. Games Workshop. White. That guy's already painted. He's good to go. This needs to be printed. Oh. Control K. Remove. How do I remove this thing? Move link. Thank you. Alright, the bolt, blah 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 blah. Humanoid mutate. Encephalongenial. Who comes up with these fucking names? Alright, so we need like a devil looking character. Devil. Light and shadow. Enemies. Barb Devil. Oh, we got an Aranus. I don't think that really fits. We do have a succubus here. Which is more right, they have multi-attack, nightmare blast, sunlight sensitivity, defensive flight. They look more like a vampire, really. Let me look at the various vampires and Panchon enemies. No, nobody's got wings here. Got Night Hunters. Ember Tapes is a vampire. God, she's a great... if you wanted to print a mini for a Banshee, she's a great Banshee right there. Like how she's sort of like phasing through this. I would print it in clear resin and then like prime the base separately. demonic vampire.
Of course, I do have some good vampires too from the Cursed City, Games Workshop box release. It's just a terrible name. A mutate. Really, we want a winged humanoid. A humanoid with bat wings. So like an incubus. And no, it specifically did not search for succubus, because fuck that noise. I mean, there is this guy, he's from Artisan Guild, I own that model. But again, I don't really want to go for the actual incubus succubus look. Like, on something more sinister. Less slutty. Comet Lord could have something out there. That fits. Oh man, love this sculpt. It's a great pose. Well, there's this. He's pretty fucking badass. Such a huge base on him. Medium aberration, though. Oh, we already have the gym mules. He's CR4, which CR4 should be a fucking pushover for a fucking 6th level party or 7th level party. Right, this is 7th level. They advance to 9th at the end, 8th in the middle, and 9th at the end. So, yeah, I mean, BCR4 for 7th level party, you should be a fucking pushover, honestly. So I don't want him to look too epic. Maybe I'll do this guy. Again, he looks demonic enough that I think it fits. Alright, we'll stick with that. And we will not print him. Do not print Tombstone. Just gonna have him like on a rock or something. The Tombstone sort of sells him as a vampire. What if you sell more like a demon? Alright, moving on. Wasted too much time on that. Oh man, a Hydra. Well, that's dope. This, so Artisan Guild Hydra. Already have it printed, I just need to get it primed and painted. On Water Weird. I already have these printed and painted from previous campaign. Clay Golem. I think in one of these releases they have a Clay Golem. Oh man. We'll stick with the original thing. I just really like the look of that model. Where were we? Crypt. Blah blah blah. Water Weird and Hydra. 10-foot tall clay golem armored to resemble an armored dwarf. So, let's look at our dwarf release again.
needs to be big. It's 10 feet tall. So we'll do this. Studios. Niedervalier. Torzador. Thunderstone Guard. Printed as a 10-foot statue. Okay. One statue dwarf has clay golem. Okay. That's why it's important to read the context when you're going through and you're doing your planning. You know, it says clay golem, and I could have just thrown in a clay golem, but it wouldn't have conveyed the right idea on the table. Got a dwarf skeleton. Now, I own lots of skeletons. I don't think I have any skeletons that are like dwarf specific skeletons. But you know what? I'm just going to check a couple of my loot releases. Who knows? Maybe they have something that fits. We do have Frost Urgar in this release. Oh man, that model looks dope. Got this barbarian skeleton. Oh, there are 14 dwarf skeletons? Whoosh. Fuck that shit. I'm just gonna run regular skeletons. 4 to 14 dwarf skeletons. GW skeletons. I have so many skeletons, it's ridiculous. So we'll just call that good there. We got some ghosts. Three ghosts. GW ghosts. All these are printed, painted. Well, plastic would be built and painted. Don't need to fuck with that. Oh, 3 wraiths. Perfect. One commander. You know, I don't actually have them painted. We're gonna have to mark this as yellow. I mean, I have some of them, but I want to paint the commander. The ghosts are painted, but the commander is not. Paint one commander. Okay. So we have an old shield guardian here. One shield guardian. We have, this is Mad Mage Shield Guardian. It is prime, but needs to be painted. As
from the Dungeons and Mad Mage box game. A mummy. Oh man. Do I actually have mummies? I know I have Loot Studios mummies. Mummy from Buried Tombs. I know I have other mummies as well. Yeah, we got a bunch of different mummies here. But who do I have that is, where do I have really great mummies? Oh, Comet Lord mummies, that's right. If I need to print mummies, it's gonna be this shit right here. These sculpts are just on point. Beautiful Comet Lord sculpts. He's wrapped in architectural plans. That's cool. It's supposed to be a dwarf mummy, but you know, whatever. Just love that right there, that pose. It's so classic. Might scale him to look a bit stockier, maybe. So it passes as a dwarf. I don't know. We got some specters. Or specter. Clear. Ghosts. From Ravenloft. Box game. Mage. Box game. Shield Guardian. Alright. Those are good. Don't need to paint them. Obviously. Alright. We are moving into Give It Crossing. More Ashen Wraiths. Here we need ferals, which if we printed and painted for all of these guys before, we should have more than enough. A Chain Devil. Fuck yeah. Loot Studios. Chain Devil. Look at that. Chain Devil, perfect. One Chain Devil. Loot Studios, Light in the Shadow. Chain Devil. Boom, boom, boom. A Grick Alpha. Just gonna do a Grick. Ooh, we already painted them, so one is already painted, so I'm just gonna mark it as green. Chain Devil, we need to print that. Fucking 6 Gricks, 2 Ropers. 2 Ropers. We have Ropers. Ropers are from the studios. Roper, yep, Brain and Tentacles. Loot Studios. Brains tentacles, ropers, and they are already printed and painted. Good to go. 6 Gricks, really? More Gricks. It's fine. We'll need to print and paint 3 more. Although, how strong is the Grick Alpha? CR7, if CR2. Whatever. I'm just gonna sub. I want to do an Alpha and then like 2 Gricks or something. The 6 Gricks is ridiculous. I'm not throwing that many Gricks at the party. We'll just compensate. 2 Earth Elementals! I think City of Portals has all of the elementals in it. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, look at that Earth Elemental. Love it. Love it. Loot, Studios, City of Portals, Earth Elementals. Like that shit is green. Oh no, purple, pink. Tower. History check, however, history. Fucking Grimlocks and Basilisks. Oh man. Grimlocks. Wow. Okay. Cool. Five Grimlocks. Loot Studios, Brain and Tentacles. Grimlocks. You're gonna find with Loot Studios, if you start using one model from a particular release, you're probably using a bunch of them. I found that many times they do a good job of really delivering on a consistent. If they look at modules and monsters that are supporting, you know, like Netherdeep monsters here, right? Basilisk, perfect, perfect. Loot Studios, Expedition to the Underworld, Basilisk, to Basilisk, boom, 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 oh, boom, 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 that needs to be printed. A lot of stuff we're gonna have to print for this, but these are some pretty fucking cool monsters. We're obviously gonna have to print some of these boys pretty soon. Yep. Mind Flayer, Warlock. I'm gonna have to continue this later. I'm gonna have to wrap up soon. Got a phone call with somebody in a few minutes. But let's just keep scrolling down here real fast. Yeah, okay, so Mind Flayer Warlock. Let's see what Loot Studios Mind Flayers we have. We have plenty of Artisan Guild Mind Flayers. But let's see what we got here. Enemies. Chaos Magician. I like how they avoided calling things the appropriate names. We got Cthulhu Folk, Cthulhu Chosen, Chaos Magician. Whatever, we'll just do this. Let's do this. Loot Studios of Brains and Tentacles. Cthulhu Folk. Mind Flayer Warlock. Call that shit good. And that should be the end. Mind Blast, Psionic Spellcasting. Cool, cool, cool. I will save the cooler looking Mind Flayers for as they get even further down into the campaign. So I'm going to be wrapping up at this point, but looks like we still have Chapter 7 and Chapter 8 here to plan out. Overall, not doing too bad. There's a few things I'm going to have to buy, like the Giant Badger, the Galabdur, and this animated armor. But honestly, oof, man, this animated armor, not going to be feeling bad about buying that sculpt. That is such a perfect on-point sculpt for that monster. You know, if I just look up animated armor here, it is just a great representation from the official artwork. And I always love it when people honor the original artwork in their sculpt design. But still has their own personal flair to it. I love it. And I've bought models from that studio many times. Looks like we have lots of more Mind Flayer and crazy aberrant things to look forward to in the coming mini planning. But for now, I think that's enough for me to put this down. Thanks for watching. And until next time, have a good one. Out.